Amazon Prime Day is here, and I'm going to share with you some of the top deals from day one that you do not want to miss. We're starting in home deals because the hotel sheets that I have absolutely fallen in love with, the quality of these is stellar. It's outstanding. Okay. They are bamboo sheets. They have like this cooling effect. If you're like me doing the perimenopause thing, you get the night sweats a lot. These sheets, they do feel like you're staying in a luxury hotel. They come in many different sizes, a bunch of different colors. They are a fraction of the price of some of the much more expensive brands that I have had before that I loved and have not come off my bed since until I got these hotel sheets, as well as the quilt. I will link that for you down below. I love this quilt. I hate struggling with duvets. Duvets are not my thing. So I love a good quilt, something that has a little bit of weight to it, but isn't too heavy to make it hot, where I can kind of use this all year round. And then what I put on top of it is also in the Prime Day deals, and that is a waffle knit blanket. This is the perfect thing to just drape over the edge of the bed, and it really allows you to like adjust the temperature. So if it's colder, you can pull that up and use that as part of your bedding. If it's not, you can just kind of leave it at the bottom for decor. But some of my very favorite bedding that is truly a fraction of the price of some of the more luxurious brands, but is almost indistinguishable. You really cannot tell a difference between the two when you feel them, when you look at them, when you compare them side by side. Next up are these pots and pans. I purchased the full set, which is also in the Prime Day deals. I purchased the full set probably two and a half years ago, and they look better than any of my other pots and pans. Now, I love my cast iron, okay? My preference is almost always for cast iron. However, I do find a lot of good reasons to just use some more simple cookware as well. My favorite thing, though, is that about 6 months ago, I grabbed a set of these that have the detachable handles because I thought, you know, these could be really handy if you live in an apartment, a small space, like living in a camper. My parents do a ton of camping, so I was like, these would be great, or a dorm room, or just a small living situation where you don't have a lot of space, or maybe just your cabinets are not that expansive and you need to really make the most of your space. These are awesome. I'm just really impressed with these. So you just remove the handle. So you put the pot, the pan, the saucepan, whatever it is on the stove. And then when you need to move it or adjust it, you clip the handle on, then you take it off. It's great if you have little kids who might walk by and reach up and touch a handle and knock a hot pot or pan off your stove, but it also prevents you from having to grab hot handles of things. It really is kind of one of those like genius level things that I'm like, man, almost all cookware, bakeware should come with these removable handles. So that is a deal that is already a good price for what you get, but in the Prime Day deals is even better. So if it's been on your wish list, if you've just now heard of it, I'm telling you, it's worth it. It gets the Angie seal of approval. We of course have to talk about ice machines. I have gone back and forth for years, if you've seen my Amazon Prime Day videos, about whether or not I should purchase one of these Nugget ice machines. And I finally did it in the fall, I think, of this past year. I purchased a Nugget ice machine, and I have to tell you, I have no regrets. I do not look back and be like, dang it, that was a waste. We love it. We use it all the time. It's so handy. It's very easy to refill. It remakes new ice pretty quickly. So it's right next to our fridge where we can get regular cubes of ice or this Nugget ice. And it's one of those purchases that is expensive, but if you've really been wanting one, if you are a Nugget ice lover, then it's one of those that will bring an extra bit of like joy and loveliness to your day. So I got to tell you, if it's been on your wish list, Prime Day deals is the time to grab it. It's some of the best discounts on the Nugget ice machine. So I will link your options down below in the description box because there are a couple different Nugget ice machines in the sale, which of course means that we have to talk about this veggie chopper. This is one of those gadgety things that the first time I saw it, I do get a little snobby about gadgety things where I'm like, sometimes it's just junk that fills up your drawer. I'm not going to use it, which means even though it might do the job faster and easier, it's just going to take up space and become junk. So I don't need it. I can just use a knife, right? Let me tell you. Okay. This thing is really awesome. My husband loves it because it comes with different attachments so that you can change whether you're slicing, how big or small you're dicing, cutting up onions, especially when you're cooking for a large family. We're a family of 10. So cutting up fruits and vegetables and things like that for prepping food can be a time-consuming experience. And while I enjoy cooking very much, sometimes I am in a hurry. And so especially when I've got a lot to chop or a lot to slice, or I'm just in a hurry, I love to grab this thing. It's very easy to just pull out, snap the right size on, and away you go. And it makes chopping up and cutting up things so fast and easy. It passes the Angie test of like, is this thing just crap or is it worth it? it's worth it. Which then of course brings me to my cast iron Dutch ovens. I highly recommend these. I use them for a number of things. Their main use in my house is for like no knead breads, artisan type breads, the crusty top breads. I have an easy recipe. I'll put that down below in the description box too, that even if you're not a bread maker on the regular, you can make this bread. Trust me, it's so good. And it is made perfectly in a Dutch oven. So it can be used for so many different things, but that's sort of what I mainly use mine for. So I have to recommend that to you, because if you don't have one, I really recommend it. It will last you forever. It's kind of one of those pieces that you're going to have in your kitchen for a really, really long time. There are actually 2 vacuums in the sale that I'm going to recommend to you, because if you've seen any of my recent videos, I've talked a little bit about the fact that I'm kind of overbuying the really expensive Dyson vacuums and stuff, because we're just really hard on it. Again, we have 8 kids. We have like, I don't even know at this point, 9 or 10 dogs. It's just, we vacuum a lot. We're really hard on our vacuum cleaners. So my idea was, I'm just going to buy cheaper vacuum cleaners. That way I don't have to feel bad when they poop out in 6 months and I got to buy a new one. And so I purchased these 2 vacuums to sort of take the place of my one Dyson. And so far, not only have they not pooped out, I've been really, really impressed with them. One of them is the Eureka canister vacuum. So this one is like the canister that you kind of roll around, and then you have the long handle wand, so you can use it like a regular vacuum. It's also really great for vacuuming walls and stairs and other things where you really just need that long sort of like elephant trunk reach of a vacuum like this, getting under things, under furniture. It really gives you a lot of flexibility around where you're vacuuming. It is already a great price, but in the Prime Day deals, it's even better. So I highly recommend that one. And then also the Eureka upright vacuum. So this one is more like a traditional vacuum. I gotta tell you, I'm impressed by the sucking power of this thing. It's just, I kind of feel silly because I feel like my Dysons in the past and some of my more expensive vacuums have not worked as well as these cheaper ones. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if there's some kind of vacuum conspiracy I don't know about, but I highly recommend both of these Eureka vacuums that are already a good price, but even better for Prime Day. It may seem silly, but I'm all about practical things, especially on Prime Day. It can get really easy to get sucked into a lot of the like fun and fanciful things, but I love getting deals on practical things that I know are going to actually help me out. So that brings me to the vacuum bags. I love these things. Again, we don't have a ton of storage space in our house. Our house is older. It doesn't have a lot of closets and storage. So when it comes to like winter coats and stuff, I take them all out of our little entry cabinet and put them into the vacuum sealer bags. Well, I wash them and make sure they're fresh and clean. Then put them into the vacuum sealer bags and can really condense them down. Again, you're talking about coats for 10 people that are both our regular coats, our farm work coats, things like that. So it's a lot. And I love that with the vacuum sealer bags, I can really condense them down so that they actually fit in the space that we have. And on that compression thought, these compression packing cubes are great. I bought these probably like 2 years ago, and I wasn't sure if I was really going to be all that impressed with them. They are great. It's almost like a mini vacuum sealer it's almost like a mini vacuum sealer bag, except it's not vacuum sealed. It's just compression. So you fill it with your items, whatever your t-shirts or whatever you're going to put in there. And then you've got like a double set of zippers where you can kind of push on it and squeeze out some of the air. It just really helps to condense your stuff down to as small as possible, especially if you're trying to get into as little luggage as possible on a trip. They're what I reach for every time I travel. I love these compression bags. And on that same theme of practicality is this multi-outlet plug. Basically, it allows you to get a few extra regular outlets as well as a couple of USB and USB-C outlets. Again, these days we have all kinds of devices and things that we're charging, and many of which take all kinds of different chargers. So it's nice. I have one behind my nightstand so that I can charge my Apple Watch, my headphones, my phone, sound machine plugged in, anything like that that I might need or want. It's really great to be able to kind of plug everything in and have the option of more than 2 outlets. I mean, those are just some of the home deals that I think are worth it. I could probably keep you here all day with deals. So I will link for you down below in the description box a link directly to the list that is for day 1. I'll have a separate list for tomorrow, day 2, so that you can stay on top of the deals. I'll also be doing live streams on Amazon on both day 1 and day 2 of the sale. So you can come hang out with me live where I'm going to show some things and I can answer your questions about different things over there on the live. Or you can also follow me on Amazon. My Amazon Amazon storefront, and that will get updated all throughout the day with lightning deals and other best deals, as well as on Instagram. So I'm going to keep you updated all day on Tuesday and Wednesday with all of the best deals and what's, still available. So don't forget that you can kind of keep up there. Let's talk a little bit about some of the personal care things that are in the sale. We're moving away from the home stuff. Number one is the Catrice Under Eye Brightening Cream. I've shared about this a couple of times, and a number of you who have bought it have reached out to me to tell me how much you love it. It's only about $6 normally, so on Prime Day, it's even better of a deal. And I love this stuff for brightening your under eye area. If you're somebody that has a little bit of darkness, sort of dark circles and stuff, it's just fabulous, especially for the price. It very much compares to a product that used to be available that isn't anymore, that was like 30 something dollars. This stuff is great. The other thing that I've been using for well over a year now and love is the Wow Dream Coat Spray. You spray this in your hair. You don't even use it every time you wash your hair. They recommend, I think you use it every like 3 or so washes. I usually use mine about once a week, but you spray it on your dampened hair and it gives your hair just this lovely shine to it. It really is a beautiful product. And they have recently come out with a version for curly hair. So if you have naturally curly hair, they also have a version that's specially formulated for curly hair. So that is a product that's in the deal days that I definitely recommend. The other product that I have talked about many times is the Paula's Choice Exfoliating Toner. There's a couple different variations of this. The dark gray bottle one is one of my very favorites. It's kind of my go-to toner for my face. And there's certain skincare products that you might think are like, oh, do I really need that? And then you start using them and you realize what a big difference they make. I really, as much as I love trying new products and stuff, I really am all about like condensing my routine down to its most basic and important things. Those are the things that I'm going to make sure that I do every time, and using a great toner like this Paula's Choice one is definitely one of those things for me. So I highly recommend it. Which then brings me to one of my favorite nail products ever. It's the Cure Nail. It's by London Town, I believe is the brand. These Cure nail concealers. If you don't like wearing a lot of nail polish, if you don't like wearing bright colors, dark colors, anything like that, you just want your natural nails to look a little nicer, these are fantastic. They come in a bunch of colors. I recently picked up a new one that might be even a new release because I haven't seen it before. They're all varying degrees of opaqueness, while none of them though actually I find to be like fully opaque, even when I do 2 to 3 coats, but I don't even recommend that. I just recommend like 1, maybe 2 very thin coats of this, and it just makes your natural nails look better. So if that's what you're going for, if that's something you're interested in, I highly recommend it. I've even used it on my toenails before when I want to give my toenails a break from bright red polish. It's really a beautiful, beautiful product that keeps your nails looking nice. And even if you don't keep up with doing your nails, you don't have to worry about having that like chipped nail look. This fun little like hydrating under eye stick is a new addition to my collection of things, but one that I really love. It feels so great to use this in the morning. It looks like a little bear. It's a very cutesy thing, but it feels really good on your under eyes. It's a hydrating under eye, call it like hydrating ice stick, basically. It feels fantastic. It's great if you find yourself having like dry under eyes, especially because you can kind of just pat a little bit of it under your eyes during the day to like freshen things up if you feel like your makeup is getting a little dry and crusty. It's great for that. It's a very affordable thing, and it's something that, like I said, I've only had for a few weeks, but I've really enjoyed using it. So I was like, oh yay, when I saw it was going to be in the sale, because I like it a lot, and I think you probably will too. As I mentioned, you can find all of my recommendations over on my Amazon storefront. I promise you, I do not just fill those lists up with anything and everything. I make sure that what I put into my recommendations are things that I've purchased myself, things that I use and love, or sometimes occasionally I'll put things that are on my own wish list. And that's what I'm going to share with you now, are a few things that are going to be in the day one deals. These things are on my own personal wish list and things I'm hoping to snag on day one. Number one is this fridge deodorizer. Need I say more? Okay, our fridges can stink a little bit, and I saw this fridge deodorizer. It's like stainless steel, so it looks a little nicer than just an open can jar of baking powder. That's something I'm definitely going to pick up. Also, the Day, I think is how you say the name of the brand. It's the Cactus Styling Cream. I've heard a lot about this brand. I've never tried anything. I've heard a lot about the prickly pear hair oil. deal. I've never tried anything, but the cactus styling cream is going to be one of the deals on day one. So I think I'm going to pick some of that up to try. My big item on my wish list this year is the Ninja ice cream machine. I've heard a lot of people rave about this. And while I'm not one, like ice cream is not my favorite thing, my kids love ice cream. And what I've discovered is I think that sort of basic chocolate vanilla ice cream is not my thing. I've recently stayed in a hotel and my mom and I got dessert delivered to us on DoorDash, and it was a local place. They made ice cream, and I had an oatmeal cookie ice cream with like spice ice cream with chunks of oatmeal cookie in it. And I thought I died and gone to heaven. So now I have to figure out how to make that at home. This is what I do. I'll never be able to, that place is hours away from my home. So now I'm like, I must be able to make that at home. So the ice cream machine is definitely on my list. Like I said, those are just some of the deals on day one. Be sure to check the description box. You can also check out my storefront. And of course, I would love to see y'all over on Amazon, where I'm going to do some lives and share some deals with you from day one and day two in real time.